My name is Catherine Valley. I'm a PTA student here at Penn State Hazelton. Can I verify your name and date of birth?
Casey Cadden, 614.
And do you know where we are today?
Penn State Hazelton.
And do you know what day of the week it is?
Monday.
And do I have to treat you today?
Yes.
Alright, so I understand you are a C6 spinal cord injury, and what we're going to be doing today is we are going to try to improve some of your flexor tone in your hips and increase some shoulder stability. To do that, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be starting in the bed, or in the chair, and we're going to be transferring to the bed. And once we're in that position, we are going to do some exercises to strengthen your shoulders, and then we're going to be transitioning back from the chair, or from the bed to the chair. And then at the end, I'm going to give you some exercises to do at home to keep building up strength, and then you'll be all set to go. How's that sound?
Good.
All right, so with your injury, there is no innervation for elbow extension, wrist flexion, or finger movement. So throughout today, we're going to ensure that we do not do any of those motions and we work around that, okay?
Okay.
Some things you should expect is there should be a certain level of fatigue, some soreness. You may experience some loss of balance, but that's why we're going to be putting this gait belt on you for your safety in mind. So if you could just lean a little bit forward, I can get this around you. Good. Perfect. We want this to be snug, so that way if I were to need to hold on to it to help support you, it won't slide around on us. How's that feel?
Good.
All right. And then you should also have no pain with any of these movements. So if at any point you feel any pain with any of the activities we do today, be sure to let me know and we will be sure to stop, okay?
Okay.
You also may experience some delayed onset muscle soreness in the next day or so. If you have any soreness beyond 24 hours, be sure to let me know, because that will signal that we need to cut back a little bit and lessen the intensity moving forward. All right, so just some questions to go over before we begin. On a pain scale, 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst pain you ever felt, what would you say your pain is today?
Like a 1.
A 1? Okay. And then with this pain, are there any sort of limitations in your daily life pertaining to the movement you do have that you could improve on?
Just reaching.
Okay, reaching?
Yeah.
That's understandable. And then do you plan on returning to work? Is that a goal of yours?
No.
No? Okay. And then what would your goal be then?
Just to improve some strength.
Okay.
In my upper body.
Good, we can do that. Next I'm going to do a skin inspection, and this is important because we want to make sure that any areas you don't have sensation to, we are still making sure that nothing is going wrong. So I'm going to go through some bony landmarks and just ensure your skin is looking good in those areas, okay? Alright, so I'm going to start by looking at your scapulas. I would actually visualize them. You look good. And then I would go to your elbow. Your elbow looks good. Your other elbow looks good. And I'm going to have you lean towards your right shoulder. And I'm going to visualize around your bottom, your hips. Looks good. Now I'm going to come around to this side. I'm going to have you reach to your left. Visualize. You look good. Alright. And then I'll look at your knees and make sure there's no irritation in that area. Your knees look good. And I would look at your ankles. Your ankles look good. Good. So now that we got that all paired up, next we're going to be going into some measurements for your neck. So what we're going to be doing is a goniometric measurement to see how your range of motion is. So the motion we're going to be performing is we're going to have you bring your right ear to your right shoulder. So if you could go ahead and show me that. Good? Any pain with that? Alright, so now I'm going to come in, sneak up behind you, and we're going to be doing a measurement. So let me get all set up, and then I will have you do that motion for me again. Alright. Go ahead, slow and control, bring that right ear to that right shoulder. Good, you can relax. Normal is 45, and you got about 43. Which is perfectly fine, so that was good. All right. Now that we have all of our pre-assessment stuff all sorted out, we're going to transition into actually getting to the mat table and doing the transfer. And then once we're on the mat table, we will get you in position to do some exercises, okay?
Okay.
So, for this transfer, we are going to be using a sliding board. So I'm going to start off by getting your leg rests out of the way so they're not limiting us. I'm going to ensure your wheelchair is locked if it is. And then I'm going to have you just shift to your this way just a little bit. And I'm going to get this out of our way. So then I'm going to go ahead and put this under your leg. So for this, I'm going to be doing a majority of the work, but I still want you to help as best you can. So I'm going to have you lean towards your right and use that elbow and pull and try to help scooch yourself along. But like I said, I'm going to be doing most of the work, okay? So we're going to do this together. So I'm going to get in position. I'm going to have you lean forward onto my right shoulder, and then you're going to use that right elbow, right? So ready? 1, 2, and 3. Good?
Yeah.
I'm going to keep hold of you. Move this over. Alright. Now I'm going to have you lean down towards your left. Use that elbow to slow yourself down. And I'm going to go ahead and lift your legs up onto the mat table. And then I'm going to have you go ahead and lay back down. Good. Feeling okay?
Yep.
So now what I want you to do is I want you to use those elbows, and I want you to scoot towards your right, towards the center of the table. Good? I will shift your legs, and shift your hips. Alright. So now what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you do a kind of rocking motion with that upper body, and we're going to have you rock towards me, and I'm going to assist you to turn onto your side, okay?
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready, go ahead and start rocking. Good. Now I'm going to have you continue that motion all the way until you're prone. Good. Good. Feeling okay?
Yep.
Alright, so now that you are in a safe position, I'm going to go ahead and grab this weight. And what we're going to be doing for our first exercise is I'm going to be applying this on your shoulder for added resistance. And you're going to be walking your elbows from side to side, okay? Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
So I want you to go all the way to your left first. Slow and controlled. And then back towards your right. And that is 1, and we're going to do that 10 times. Alright, that was 2. We're just going to say you did it 10 times, and I would have you do that for 3 sets. So now the next exercise we're going to be doing is we want to isolate those scapulas. So I want you to bring those scapulas to pinch them towards me. Good. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a weight to your shoulders again, and I'm going to have you do that motion, trying to isolate those muscles, okay? Does that feel okay?
Yeah.
Alright, slow and controlled. I want you to do that motion. Good. How's that feel?
Good.
Alright, that was 2, 3, and I would have you do this 10 times for 3 sets and give you a good rest in between. So we're going to say that you did all of those exercises. How are we feeling?
Good.
Good? Alright, so now we're going to begin our transition back to the chair. So what I'm going to have you do is I'm going to have you roll back towards your left. So I'm going to have you lay on your shoulder, good, and I'm going to have you roll this way. I'm going to help you with that. So now I'm going to have you scoot back towards me using those elbows, and I'll help you shift your hips. Alright, that's good. Good. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to cross your legs. And then then I'm gonna have you rock and roll onto your left side. Alright? 1, 2. Good. Alright, and I'm going to bring your legs down off the side of the table. And I'm gonna have you push up with your shoulder as much as you can. Good. Alright. So now while holding on to you and keeping you stable, I'm going to be putting this under your leg again. And we're going to be doing the same transfer but in the opposite direction, okay? Alright. So I'm going to have you lean onto my left shoulder this time, and you're going to use that elbow again. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and take this out. How was that? Not too bad?
That was good.
Okay. Now I'm going to be putting your armrest back. And give you okay. So now that we got through all of your exercises, another thing we want to do is we want to make sure we do some passive range of motion of all the joints. So since we were already doing some shoulder movement, I'm just going to do some range of motion with the elbow. Good. And just some movement of the wrist. Good. And we're going to do some hip movement. And then we're going to do some knee movement. That was kind of all together. And some ankle movement. Good. Now I'm going to do the same thing but on the other side. So I'm going to come over here. Some elbow movement. Some wrist movement. Some great positioning. Some hip and knee together. And then some ankle movement. Alright. So now that we got all that done with, I'm going to ask that you do that active range of motion again. So bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Show me that motion. Any pain with that?
No.
Good. And then, just how we did the skin inspection at the beginning, I'm going to do the skin inspection again. Make sure I go over all those winning landmarks. And while I'm doing that, I just want to let you know that when you are at home, I ask that if you have a caregiver or someone around, that you have them assist you with doing a skin inspection of these areas when you're home, in the morning, and in the evening, just to ensure that there's no complications that can come with that. So have to do that same thing again. Shift to the side, visualize that area, good. Now turn it this way, shift to the side, visualize that area, good. So that's just a pointer to help you make sure things are all good. So I visualized all your voting landmarks and you look good still. Nothing has changed. So now I'm going to go over with you your home exercise program, and for this I'm going to have you do those same exercises in prone at home. You can do them in bed. That is a safe position for you. And I will have you do the walking side to side for 10 sets of 3 reps, and I want you to do that 2 to 3 times a day, but only do that every other day to give yourself some rest between. And then I'm going to have you do the same exercise of doing those scapular retraction and protraction. Again, 10 reps, 3 times a day, every other day, okay? And then, just like I said today in treatment, if you have any pain with any of those movements, be sure to let me know and make sure to stop for the time being, and then we will reassess when you come back. And just like I said about making sure to do a skin inspection at home, I also want you to make sure that you are weight shifting, just because that's another way we can prevent any sort of skin irritation coming. So when you're in your wheelchair, I want you to shift your weight every 15 minutes. You can go ahead and lean to one side or the other and shift that weight. And when you do shift positions, I want you to hold that position for at least 2 minutes, just because that relieves the pressure to that area. And then when you're in bed, It's best to try to move position at least every 2 hours, if possible, because that's again, it helps reduce any irritation to the area. And do you have any pain right now? 0 being no pain, 10 being the worst pain you've ever felt.
0.
0? Okay. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay. I'm going to sanitize my